Welcome to this tutorial for ODS students. This video walkthrough is for students who have already registered with ODS and have been approved academic accommodations related to testing. We will review how to request proctored testing space at the ODS Testing Center. Before requesting space at the ODS Testing Center, please take a moment to review our testing procedures. This information is available on the ODS website, and students acknowledge receipt of these procedures each semester when accommodations are requested. All requests for space must be submitted a minimum of 3 days in advance. It is important to note that space at the ODS Testing Center is limited and is first come, first served. This becomes increasingly relevant during finals, and the ODS Testing Center will be completely booked with requests in the 3 to 4 weeks leading up to finals. It is recommended that students make all requests for testing space at the beginning of each semester once you have received your syllabus and test dates for the semester. Please be aware that you must have already requested accommodations in the ODS online portal before being able to request space at the ODS Testing Center. Further, it is important that you have met with each instructor to be sure that the instructor prefers you to be proctored at the ODS Testing Center. Many instructors proctor their own accommodated tests. The ODS Testing Center does not offer proctoring for tests in online classes. To request testing space, select Alternative Testing at the left column of the screen. Next, select the course in which the test is to be scheduled from the drop-down box at the top of the screen. If the course does not appear in the drop-down box, double-check to be sure you have requested accommodations for the course. Once the course has been selected, click on the Schedule an Exam box. On the exam request page, the course has been selected. From the drop-down box, select the type of test for which space is being requested. It is important that students make mindful selections here because the testing agreement that the ODS Testing Center receives from the instructor will be specific to quiz, test, or final. Next, enter the date that the class is taking the test. Select the appropriate time for the test. Remember that tests must be taken at the same time as the class, unless you have back-to-back classes and taking the test at the same time as the class will cause you to miss your next class. Select the services requested for the test. Here you will see all approved testing accommodations. Be mindful to only select the testing accommodations that you require for that specific test. For instance, if the test will be brief and you know that extended time will not be necessary, do not select that box. At the bottom of the screen, Add Exam Request. Once you have selected Add Exam Request, the screen will load to a confirmation page that shows the system update is successful at the top of the page. If you would like to request space for another test in the same class, add your next request here. Also available on the confirmation page is an option to view all upcoming exam requests. Be aware that all requests submitted for testing space must be approved by ODS Testing Center staff. You can view that your request is processing, and once it has been approved by staff, it will change to approved, and you will also receive an email confirmation. Remember to request your space more than 3 days in advance of the test. Your request is reflected in the portal, and making late requests may lead to your taking the test with the class without accommodations. ODS suggests that all requests for testing space be made at the beginning of the semester once you have received your syllabus and have been provided your test dates. If you need to modify or cancel an existing request, that option is available on this page. Be sure that any requests to modify a request for space are accompanied by an additional note or reason to modify. ODS testing staff will require confirmation from your instructor regarding any test rescheduling. At the top of the screen, right corner, you can select Exams for the current class to view all canceled, processing, and/or approved requests for testing space. Requests can also be canceled and modified here. Please visit the ODS website for additional tutorials, guidance, or questions, or contact your assigned accommodation specialist who is also listed in the ODS online portal.